If you're looking for a Marseille deck, and if you work only with majors or are not resistant to working with majors only, French style, I discovered this deck through Louise over at Tarot Breeze. I will put a link down below to her channel and her walkthrough of this deck. This is Tarot de Marseille by Victoria Dorche. She's in France. I think she's based in Toulouse. So the deck, I've shuffled this. The deck came without a box, but very well protected, very sturdily protected. It's spined together this way, and it has that cover card in there like so. It has a couple of really thick cardboard at the front and cardboard at the back like so to protect it, like so, sandwiched. And it has this lovely pattern off the back of each of the cards here, like so. And of course the cards themselves are bind together with this ring here, like so. And then sandwich with protective thick cotton, like so. And the illustration of the back of the cards at the front, like so. At least this is how it came to me. Merci, Victoria. And it was tied together with a rubber band this way and that way, like so. Okay, so that's how it came to me. So I'll put this out. This is a cover card, protective card, and the ring. And it has this lovely drawing that she did on the parcel itself, which I will keep. And then it's so sweet, it says thank you, much love, Victoria. So that's that. So let's take a look at the cards. Again, that's the cover card, beautiful. So I have shuffled it. The cardstock is very thick, very naked, or feels naked. If there's any lamination, I can't feel it on my hand. It feels like very thick watercolor paper, very much like some of the Il Meneghello's cardstock and some of Louis Scarabeo's older art decks from the 80s, like their Majors Only Crystal Tarot, for example. So even though it's naked, it's very, very nice to slides around nicely, shuffle beautifully. I would usually not riffle shuffle this kind of cardstock because it's thick, and because it's Majors Only, is not that big a deck anyway. At most I probably would drop shuffle it, but it's probably a little bit difficult to do. Probably not. As you can see here, the ink seemed to sit on top of the paper there, as you can see. And if there's any lamination, I can't feel it, at least in the hand feel is not apparent. And if there is any protective coat, I would suspect it is sprayed onto rather than laminated on to the cards. So let's begin. This is Le Pendu, the Hanged Man, very much like the Vieille and a variety of other older decks where the hangman is whether purposely or accidentally is turned upside down, which makes him look like he's elevated. The back is not reversible, as you can see, which is great if you use these images the way I use them, which is very much reading the stories behind the images on the cards, or very much lately simply using the images on the cards and that's it. I don't actually read the cards themselves, so if the card come in this position or that position, it doesn't matter to me because I am not reading the cards. I'm reading the images on the cards. So here the Emperor, it looked like he is sort of his face, his hands and his legs look like it's the color of the universe, and I think that is awesome. The Fool. Death here look like it has leftover flesh and blood, which is quite disconcerting, and I like it because ending's always disconcerting. Strength dressed in the universe, like many of these characters. It's interesting that she has a little bit like a crescent moon mark on her hands there. Empress is also dressed in the universe. Scepter and crown, symbol of authority. I think that's, is that eagle? It's similar as the one on the shield of the emperor. This is the moon. Again, the universe, the color of the universe is in the moon. And then here you can see almost like a tie-dye, wax resist, almost like batik. And you can see a smiley face on the crustacean there. A bit of anthropomorphizing. I think it's very cute, because we all know the crustacean's face is not quite on that side, it should be on the other side, but you know, maybe it's facing us, maybe, but even when he's facing us or she's facing us, the face there is that's quite adorable. And you can see the lake here, or the lagoon there. It's very much like tie-dye or wax resist deep dye, and very much like batik. Very much like shibori for those of you who are into Japanese textile. The shibori. The tower has this flame connected to the flame of the sun, so that's interesting. And there is that crown-like top that topples over the end of the reign of humans, or the end of our perception of reality, the end of what we thought we knew of what is real and what isn't. The Pope here, interestingly, has a little bindi like here on the area of his third eye, also dressed in the universe. There's two supplicants with skull caps there, and then I think that's his hat, or her hat. Hermit here is also robed in the universe. I love how there is this glasses there, which is very much anachronistic to the period of the rest of the feel of the cards, judging from the dressing, the hat, gears, the robes and everything. That glasses is obviously a lot more modern, but I really adore that. It's cute because it gives it connection to the modern world through that glasses. And 2019 is Year of the Hermit for me, and so this is, I've decided that this is one of my favorite depiction of the Hermit, together with one from La Corte dei Tarocchi and one from the Bologna Tarot, the one with a lot of pinks, and with the Hermit with the wings and staff and the column on his back or behind him. So this is the Magician. So again, whether that blue is indeed the universe or whether it's just blue with white specks, in a way that this part of his clothing is red with white specks, I don't know. But to me, it appears like the universe, so the universe it is. The Devil, instead of an upside down pentagram, it has this crescent moon. Again, the universe around his legs and wings, both breast and penis, no face on the stomach, no face on the knees. So that's the Diable. I keep wanting to call this the world because the universe is in her, but this is the Star. Is the Chariot with a very princely, kingly figure in here. The crown and the scepter is a symbol of authority. So this is definitely a triumphal procession of the Chariot here. The Popess, again that color of the universe there. That big cross that holds her robe on her. I've seen one of these robes. They're really heavy, so if you put them around your neck, you'll easily be strangled by the weight of the cape, or by the whatever you call this. And so there's a big, usually either huge strap of crisscrossing on your chest this way and that way to hold the robe on your body. So that's that. The Popes, Temperance. Judgment. I quite like how his bottom there has freckles and how his shoulders look like he has sunburn or he's been wounded rolling around, I don't know. There's skull cap there, and in the olden days apparently when you have churches in a village, people in that village or in that parish will go to that church for weddings, baptisms and funerals, and you are usually buried in the yard of the church of your local parish. And so all the congregation, member of that parish will be buried facing one way, and the shepherd or the priest were buried, usually traditionally buried facing the opposite, so that the shepherd or the priest will face this way and everyone else will be buried facing this way. So just like in church, where he is expected to symbolically lead the way in the afterlife, so that during resurrection he can lead the way. So that's why there's a figure facing that way and two figures facing this way. The two figure, man and woman, presumably represent the rest of the parish members who are buried in the yard of the local church. Victoria didn't shy away from drawing an anatomically correct Cupid there, so that's brilliant. I also quite like the fact that the knees look like it's been a bit scraped there. Like, what on earth have you been doing? You look quite, not bruised, but you know, scraped. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Sun. Gemini, I was told, and the scraped knee and the scraped elbows there are quite precious, I thought. The collar here reminds me very much of a traditional mystical Thai tattoo that is usually done around the collarbone, all around the shoulder like a necklace. A lot of the Thai boxers, I did Thai boxing as a way of exercise a few years ago, for about 2 years, and a lot of them who are competing seriously have that tattoo done. Thai boxing or Muay Thai is actually a very spiritual sport. It is unfortunate that I think in some circles, I think it's more compared to MMA or mixed martial art, which is very much about the body, I thought. Muay Thai is actually very, very spiritual. But anyway, a topic for another time. So this is the world. And of course, she is completely composed of the universe, and I think that's so lovely. There is what looks like a lion with a halo here. There is a buffalo. No, not a buffalo. Ox. Eagle. And the angel up there. All with red halos, except for the ox for some reason. Maybe that one there is its halo, I don't know. But she is carrying a scepter with a cloth over her in a very traditional way. So that is Tarot de Marseille by Victoria Dorche. Majors only.